All right, welcome back, everybody, to For the Sake of the Parlay. And today is April 12th, 2026. And what we're going to do today is review yesterday's Parlay of the Day and give you today's Parlay of the Day. All right, so let's get right into it. All right, so let's talk about yesterday's Parlay of the Day. Yesterday, we went 5 out of 8. That does include one push. And we had 3 UFC losses, but in total we went 5 out of 8, okay? So let's start with the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Montreal Canadiens. I was right about this. Columbus is really pushing for a better playoff spot, and Montreal's already in it, so that's why Blue Jackets won 5-2. All right, and I called that over. Next was the Vancouver Canucks at the San Jose Sharks. San Jose Sharks are still fighting for a playoff spot. The Canucks are not, but they've been playing spoiler lately. They actually beat Colorado a couple days ago with one of the biggest upsets of the year. So if they can beat Colorado, they can definitely beat San Jose, which is exactly what they did. Next, we took the under in the Washington Nationals in the Brewers game. And those two starting pitchers, did very well. And it was a pitcher's duel, and I called that one. I called that under. Next, we took the under in the Boston Red Sox and St. Louis Cardinals game. Now, this was an interesting one. This one wound up being a push, okay? And if you would have took the alternate line, I suggested you would have won. But this is very important because there was only 3 runs scored all the way up into the 9th inning, and then one of their pitchers and the Cardinals pitchers gave up 5 runs in 1 inning, okay, in the last inning. So that's why going forward it's very important to pay attention to these bullpen reports, okay, because the bullpen can really make or break one of your bets, okay? So it's very, very important to understand those bullpen bets. Next, we went to the UFC. Charles Radke, he won his fight outright. It was a good fight. He won it by decision, and, not too much else to say about that. But Kevin Gastelum, he got choked out by Vicente Luque, okay? And, that was that. That was pretty disappointing. A lot of people thought Kevin Gastelum would fight better, but he didn't, and he got submitted by one of Vicente Luque's signature moves, which is the Darce choke. All right, next, we had the Patricio Pitbull fight against Aaron Pico. That was a nice little scrap. Pico was dominant for most of the fight, and, he won a decision. Wasn't really expecting that one to go to decision. Pico's a killer-be-killed fighter, and you can tell by the damage that he put on Pitbull, but hey, it just went to decision. And one of the biggest surprises of the night is the Dominic Reyes and Johnny Walker fight. That fight went to decision, and it was minus 550 to end inside the distance. So that was a big surprise, and that fight was pretty boring. And nobody was expecting that. And that happens sometimes, okay? But you might want to, the UFC and the FBI might want to look a little bit deeper into that one, because there's no way that one should have went to decision, okay? But now we're going to go over the alternate lines from yesterday and see how we did. All right, and before we get into our parlay of the day for today, I do want to briefly talk about the alternate lines from yesterday. So I just want to tell everybody that for the alternate lines for the past week, we are officially 9 of 9, okay? So yesterday, first alternate line would have been taking the over 5.5 in the Columbus Blue Jackets and Montreal game. The regular line was 6.5, so to give us some cushion, we could have took plus 5.5 and it hit. Next was the under 9.5 in the Washington Nationals and Milwaukee Brewers game. That one went under 8, so it definitely went under 9.5, okay? And lastly, instead of a push, we could have got a win if we would have took this alternate line. That's why it's good for the sake of the parlay to pick alternate lines. If we would have took under 10 instead of the under 8, we would have won and not pushed, okay? So that's why alternate lines are important. Now, let's get into the parlay of the day. All right, for the parlay of the day, we're going to start off by taking in the NHL, the Boston Bruins at the Columbus Blue Jackets under 6.5. Then we're going to take the over 6.5 in the Vancouver at Anaheim Ducks. Then we're going to take the over 6.5. And we're also going to take the New York Islanders on the money line in the same game parlay. Then we're going to take the under 7.5 at Colorado and San Diego in MLB. Then we're going to take Texas at the Dodgers plus 1.5. Then we're going to take the under 7.5 at Cleveland at Atlanta. And then lastly, we're going to take the under 6.5 for Ottawa at New Jersey. Okay, so here you have it. Today, April 12th, 2026, the parlay of the day. Okay, first we're going to take the Ottawa Senators at the New Jersey Devils. We're going to take the under 6.5. Now, I do feel like the Senators don't have really much to play for. It's one of the last games of the year. So I think that favors New Jersey in their playing style, and I feel like this will be a low-scoring game. Next, we have the Vancouver Canucks at the Anaheim Ducks. The Canucks versus the Ducks, okay. And so I like this to go over. I feel like Anaheim is still playing for the playoff spot, so they're going to be going full force. And the Canucks have been playing spoiler. They've been playing okay as of late, and they've been scoring goals. So I feel like that's going to go over 6.5. Next, we have the Colorado Rockies at the San Diego Padres. Now, Freeland is pitching against Nick Pivetta. Freeland is the Colorado Rockies ace. It means that he's their best pitcher, and Nick Pivetta is pretty good. And they're playing in one of the best pitcher parks in the MLB. So I do like the under 7.5 here. Next, we're going to do what we did yesterday against the Yankees, except against the Dodgers. We have Jacob deGrom pitching against, forget Sasaki, whatever his name is, for the Dodgers. And I like to take the run line against the Rangers because I feel like deGrom is the better pitcher. He's more experienced, and they can win outright. So I do like the Texas Rangers on the run line with 1.5. Next, we have the Guardians at Atlanta Braves, and I know Chris Sale is pitching. Chris Sale is actually really good for the Braves. He's probably going to strike out a lot of people. And if he doesn't give up any home runs, this should be a low-scoring game, so I like the under 7. Next, we have the Boston Bruins at the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have two very good goalies starting. Now, the Blue Jackets are still vying for a playoff spot, but their goalie is actually really good, even though he's a backup goalie, Jack Greaves, and so is Jeremy Swayman for the Boston Bruins. So I do like the under 6.5 in this game. And lastly, we have a same game parlay. We're going to take a two-way same game parlay. We're going to take the New York Islanders and the over. Okay, the New York Islanders are still playing for a playoff spot. They're going to be playing full force, and I do like them to score quite a bit of goals against the Montreal Canadiens, and I do like this over. Okay, so there you have it, everybody. That's the parlay of the day. You can see that we're really doing this. I'm doing this for free, and I'm doing this for fun, so you can trail us. You can pick one or two picks, and I'm sorry I don't have any alternate lines for today, but if you want any alternate lines, you can take these picks and just give yourself a little cushion. Okay, I will be putting some more alternate lines back into the next parlay of the day tomorrow, but I'm sorry I'm getting this out a little bit late today. So that's all we have for today. Okay, all right, so there you have it. That was the parlay of the day today. Just remember, winners never quit. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, and one good parlay can make your day. All right, so we'll catch y'all next time, which will be tomorrow with another video on a parlay of the day. Good luck.